And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Moving on into satellite imagery, you can see low pressure here right off the southwest coast, and moisture in a band of clouds here bringing some snow and gusty north winds St. Lawrence Island up to the Bering Strait and clipping the northwest coast there. And then some more clouds here with some areas of light snow over the eastern interior. Big break here to the south with some areas of sunshine across, just about from the Yukon Delta eastward, south central Alaska, extending down to Kodiak Island and into the northern panhandle. Got some more moisture here with a system, roll this through again, right here, spreading some rain across Dixon Entrance and into the southern panhandle this afternoon. And this system gradually moving northward will bring a downturn in the weather to Kodiak Island later tonight or this evening. Next system out there to the west, and we'll see on today's chart that already bringing some wind and precipitation into the far western Aleutians there, but a good ridge out in advance of that, making for a light wind day. Dry conditions, Adak and Atka. Low pressure here, the one we saw just off the southwest coast, and cold air coming down on the backside of that, bringing snow showers and gusty northwest winds to the eastern Aleutians, Alaska Peninsula, to the Pribilofs. And still snow and blowing snow for St. Lawrence Island, Bering Strait coastal areas, and an area of light snow here for tonight. Actually, tonight's forecast, that'll be pushing the wind and rain into the western Aleutians tonight. It should stay mostly fair here over south central Alaska with could be mostly clear skies through much of the night in Cook Inlet, maybe this is set in the valley, and then some rain pushing into Kodiak Island. On the east side there, Shelikof Strait areas should stay dry and looks wet and windy for the southeast coast, all the way up to Yakutat, but cutting off there right around Cordova. So Prince William Sound tonight will be on the dry side. Dry weather, light winds, Copper River Basin. And for tomorrow, quite an area of light snow here over the central and north central interior, actually extending all the way out to the central Arctic coast there. And starting to taper off along the Alaska Range, dry for Cook Inlet, although a cloudier day tomorrow than what we saw today with some of this moisture as this front works northward. Moisture will be pulling westward here, up possibly to the Chugach Mountains, and that'll extend eastward. So a wet day tomorrow with diminishing winds over the southeast coast, gusty northwest winds, and dry conditions with clearing, chance of sun for Kodiak Island. Dry for much of the southwest interior. Still looking at snow shower activity here along the Alaska Peninsula and northward toward the Pribilofs, as well as the southwest coast, but much lighter winds for St. Lawrence Island tomorrow. Dry conditions, could see some clearing up that way, all the way into the Seward Peninsula, as well as the eastern North Slope and Arctic coast. And this front out here bringing gale force winds with gusts 50 to 60 miles an hour into the central Aleutians, with snow changing to rain here as that southerly wind pulls some warmer air up. Could be just plain rain by midday tomorrow. And then for the day on Saturday, that system drives eastward. A new low center develops along the frontal system there. Strong east to southeast winds across the northern Bering Sea here down into the Pribilof Islands. Start to see an increase in the winds along the coast late in the afternoon with a chance of some snow reaching Nunivak Island. Rain and gusty winds here for the Alaska Peninsula, eastern Aleutians. Coming more showery in the afternoon for Unalaska Island. Then a lot of moisture and brisk westerly winds, anywhere 30 to 50 miles an hour in gusts here, even stronger out towards Shimei and Attu. Could see gusts 60, 65 miles an hour there, just on the south side of that 960 millibar low. And a weaker front here keeps it wet over the southeast coast. And the trough has some light snow snow showers here for the upper Tanana Valley 40 Mile Country and along the eastern Alaska Range, but dry across southern Alaska, western interior, and just about all of the interior except along this trough will see dry conditions with a pretty good chance of some sunshine, including Kodiak Island. And then for the day on Sunday, weak low here brings a chance of rain to the southern panhandle, dry to the north. This front, as you can see, pushing eastward by Sunday afternoon. That low weakens there as it crosses the Alaska Peninsula. Holds together well enough, definitely looking for periods of rain for Kodiak Island, but wind's not much of a factor with this. And snow into the interior. Snow and gusty winds, say from the Bering Strait in towards St. Lawrence Island, lower Yukon River area. Look for periods of snow. That'll extend again down into the Kuskokwim Valley, but dry and fair over the eastern half of the state all the way up to the Arctic coast. And out to the west, strong west winds across the southern Bering Sea with rain over the southeast Bering, eastern Aleutians, mixed precipitation as the air mass grows colder out to the west, changing to just snow showers for Shimei and Attu. And then for the lows tonight, right around 5 to 10 in the Copper River Basin, and 20 to 25 south central Alaska, near freezing for Kodiak, in the 20s for Bristol Bay, and lows for the southeast coast, lower 30s north to near 40 for Prince of Wales Island. Highs for tomorrow, 40 to 48 for the southeast coast, right around 30 for the Copper River Basin, and again upper 30s, lower 40s, south central Alaska, lower 40s for Kodiak, and in the 30s out to the west. And then the lows for Saturday morning, teens and 20s again for south central Alaska, about the same in the Copper River Basin, right around 10 or so, and lower to mid 20s now for the Bristol Bay area, so starting to cool off there a little bit, and right around 31 for Kodiak. And for the southeast coast, lows in the 30s, followed by highs in the 40s. And high around freezing for the Copper River Basin. And again, upper 30s or mid 30s to near 40 for the south central Alaska area, all the way down to Kodiak Island. And for the Arctic coast, below zero on the western Arctic coast tonight, and right around to just above zero for areas to the east. Teens in the central interior with 10 below for Shishmaref, or 6 below for Shishmaref, near 10 below for Tin City, and about 2 below for Savunga. Highs 0 to 5 for St. Lawrence Island, a little below zero here for the Seward Peninsula, and western Arctic coast. Warmer as you head east, up to near 20 for Arctic Village, and mid-20s, lower 30s there in the central interior. And then lows for Saturday morning, 5 to 10 in the central interior. Brooks Range, 5 below, and then 5 to 15 below for the North Slope and the Arctic coast, right on down to the northern Seward Peninsula and St. Lawrence Island, followed by highs, teens and 20s, central part of the state for the Brooks Range, right around 10, and 5 below to 10 above for the North Slope and the Arctic coast. Out to the west, we've got lows in the teens for the Pribilofs, southwest coast, and the 20s for the Aleutians, 20s, lower 30s, Alaska Peninsula, followed by highs in the 30s for the entire Aleutian chain, except 40 for Adak and Shimei. And then for the lows, around 20 for the Pribilofs on Saturday morning, high and lower 30s here for the Aleutians. And then for the highs, looking at mid-20s for the southwest coast, upper 30s to lower 40s, Alaska Peninsula, lower to mid-40s for the eastern Aleutians, and mid-30s for the Pribilof Islands.